I have some spiritualists, psychics, life coaches, business coaches, you name it. But they use their God-given ability. And multiple things always hit me. And I don't mean in a negative way per se or even a positive way. It's just what one of my mentors and one of my really great mothers in spirit would say, it just is what it is. The first thing is, well, I don't believe, or people tell me that I shouldn't use my abilities for personal gain. And they use it in the sense that they do in Charmed, one of my favorite childhood shows, where they weren't supposed to use their powers for personal gain. And in Charm, usually what happened if they did was they would end up either not getting whatever the blessing was that was presented or the gift was. They would end up losing out on it. Like one example, Phoebe, when she first started using her powers, she didn't try to, but she got a premonition on what the winning numbers would be for the lottery. She actually blessed a couple that their last resort was using the last little bit of money they had was to buy a lottery ticket. She ended up giving them all the numbers that they should play. And she actually did a ticket too. And by the end of the episode, her lottery ticket just disappeared. Like the numbers literally on the lottery ticket disappeared. And she wasn't allowed or whatever to win the lottery. The couple probably did, but she didn't. They'll use that basically type of example and they'll use it from a place of guilt against themselves, or they'll receive it from people against themselves. First, let me speak on that. God would not put us into place and position and give us these beautiful gifts, whatever it is, whether we're Reiki Masters, past life regression specialists, life coaches, psychics, healers, whatever it is, soothsayer. God wouldn't take that gift and say, you know what, you go out there for the rest of your life and you suffer. All of you people be hungry, have no roof over your head, no clothes on your back, and y'all know me. When you hear sounds like what you just heard in the background, that's literally God's confirmation. But God is not going to use those gifts, give you those gifts and say, oh yeah, you are meant to live in poor town, while everybody else gets to live in lap of luxury boulevard. God would not do that. He wouldn't send everybody else down easy street and tell you got to live on barely making it avenue. The God that you worship, the God you pray to, and the God you believe in, if it's the one true God that is. And I don't care if you're a Buddhist, Hindu, Christian, or what you are. Even if you practice Wicca, we all worship the same God, the one true God. It's only when you get away from him and you start getting your spankings and your whippings to get you back in alignment that you start to think, oh, God is punishing me. Oh, God is saying that I did something I should not have. Now, he may punish you because you did something you should not have, but he's not going to punish you, and he's not going to treat you like it did. And it's my favorite show. I ain't gonna lie. It's one of my favorite shows. But God does not do that to you. What happens is the latter, what I just said. You did something you weren't supposed to do. Or if you got something, that something was gonna take you offline of your destiny. Because if you had gotten that money, what would have been your next choice and decision? What would you have done? Would you have continued to further your spiritual walk and your spiritual connection? Would you continue to elevate and activate the new gifts that were meant to be activated within you? Were you going to go and complete all the assignments that you have been given? Because if this blessed and breakthrough and miracle would have kept you from doing any of those things, then no, you did not need to receive those things. Because those things was going to become a distraction. It was going to lead you down a path of destruction. And it was going to keep you from keeping on going on to the next blessings, breakthroughs, and miracles that was ready to be presented to you. And something bigger and better was waiting for you if you continued on. But if you stopped, you were just going to stop, stuck, stagnant. You would not in the end have been fulfilled, and you wouldn't have completely lived out your destiny that you were meant to live. So does God say, oh, you're supposed to give all your services, all your products, and everything that you literally have died for, everything you healed from that was a pain area, and now that it has become pressure and it's become purpose and it's doing what it was intended to do, now you're meant to elevate and go to the next level? No. Yes, he did send his disciples out there. Jesus did send his disciples out there. He did tell them to take nothing but the clothes on their back. Did not go heavy laden, because he wanted them to be able to move from place to place and post to post and not be heavy laden and held back and held up from being able to go to the next place they was meant to go. Because trust me, there was already in heaven a map already mapped out of, you're gonna go to these cities, you're gonna go to these towns and providences, and you're going to train, and you're gonna see for yourself, and you're going to show me if you are properly ready to do this for real. You ain't going to go out there for good. You just going out there on a sojourn so you can find out, I can find out, and we can both know that you're ready. You're ready for the big picture. You're not going out there forever. You're only going out there for a little bit. Then you're going to come back in here. If I had given you everything you needed, necessary, and was required for you to go out there and start working on the big picture, if you was ready for the big picture, and most importantly, the big picture was ready for you, you would go out there and just score, and you would not fall. But when I send you out there, you are going to fall. You are going to fail. You are going to stop. Some things are not going to work out exactly the way they need to. And wherever your problem areas is, wherever the gap still needs to be filled in, when you get back, you're going to get your next lesson. You're going to elevate to the next level. It's just like I tell y'all about the practice. The practice don't stop just because I help you with the basics, teach you how to use the basics, and the basics show you and reveal your purposes to you. The next level after that is going to be me showing you how you can use the purposes as far as you can for yourself, and how you're meant to do it for the righteousness of God, and how you're meant to do it to serve other people. That's going to be the next lesson. Then after that, it's going to be another lesson, because it's going to go from that to that. And then it's going to be another lesson, because it's going to go from that to that. But if you decide to stop, that's on you. And if God hasn't set you aside as a chosen one, and you don't have a long life, big picture destiny that you're supposed to be running after, he's not going to stop you. He's not going to stop your progress. He's just going to continue moving it forward. If you need to be humbled in some areas, if you still got some things you need to take care of that's not allowing you to still see the bigger picture, then he's going to bring you back in and bring you back in. So no, it is not wrong for you to profit off your gifts. Your gifts are supposed to make room for you, and that's written in the Word of God. The next thing about it, if you are trying to market and advertise yourself to people that say, "No, baby, that's too much money. Like, you expecting too much. What's wrong with you?" And I don't care if you're doing hair, nails, tattoos. I don't care if you're doing home health. I don't care if you run an adult service. I don't care what it is you're doing, because God can get the glory in anything that you do, even prostitution. But that's another story for a whole other day. My point that I'm making to you in it, though, is you are marketing yourself to the wrong people. When they tell you that's too much, they saying, "I can't afford that." Because anything that we really want in life, do we really get in a position where we can't afford it? If we got a dime or a dollar to our name, we could tell everybody and then some we don't have no money. But we find something to do the things that we want. If we got to go borrow it, we do the things we want. If we even got to go steal, and I am not telling anybody to do any of these things, mind you, I'm just using these as templates. I'm showing you the fact that if you got McDonald's money, if you got Chipotle money, if you got Ruth Chris money, if you got the Ritz-Carlton money, if you got money to go to the Caribbean and St. Thomas, Jamaica, New Orleans, if you got money to go to Paris, Egypt, Israel, if you got money to do whatever it is that you got money for, you got money to afford this thing that you need. So if a person is telling you they can't afford it, it's not in their budget, they will find a way. If they got to go hustle, they got to take from Paul to pay Peter, they will pay for it. So your service is not for that person. Move along. Carry on. Because while you wasting your time and your energy and your own confidence and the confidence of God on these people that it's not for, you missing out on, and the people that is not getting it is missing out on you. There's somebody out here that's willing to pay you your worth. All you got to do is be open to those people. All you have to do is be open to those opportunities. And all you got to do is let those opportunities set you free. That's just what it is. So, that's the tea. I love y'all. God bless you. I hope y'all have an amazing day. You heard me? Peace.